Hi, everybody. It's Stefan. Welcome to another episode of Migraine International Patient's Perspective. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about a recent trip to the neurologist. I had a visit recently, and just a note, today is the day after Thanksgiving in the United States, November 26, 2021. So I went to my neurologist, and the subject of the visit I started out with was that I didn't think that my Emgality was working. So my neurologist questioned me and asked me to describe the headaches that I was having, because I seemed to be back to almost daily headaches. And when I described what I was having, she told me that those were not migraines, because I was having headaches that were, across my eyes, some on the back of my head. But the symptoms that I was describing were not, the aura, the stars in front of your eyes, the nausea, the typical things that come along with migraine headaches. So what this did was it made me reflect on the symptoms that come along with migraine headaches, and it makes you go back to thinking about the Migraine Buddy app and the triggers and symptoms that come along with your headaches. So we always have to remember to determine that not all headaches are migraines. And the Migraine Buddy app is kind of good at determining, breaking the headache down into, to triggers and symptoms, so that you can determine what kind of headache it is. Is it a stress headache? Is it a headache triggered by food or by stress or one of those other things? Or is it a real migraine headache? Is it a cluster headache? So we've got to get back to using the app to help us determine those things. And Migraine Buddy app is really good at breaking those things out. In where in your head is the headache? What are the specific things that are in your head that are what type of pain it is, where it is, how severe is it, and what is it going to take to get rid of that pain. Now, migraines, of course, have very specific things to them that we have to make sure that we're cognizant of when we start to describe what migraine pain is. And when you describe your migraines, you've got to remember, it comes with things like sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound, sensitivity to touch. Like I said, the nausea and I forget what they call the thing with the lights. Aura, which could be, you feel the headache coming on long before the pain gets there. It's sort of a pre-migraine. You start to feel poorly long before the pain gets there, and then when the pain goes away, you have that bruising effect where the pain's not still there, but you still feel like, maybe you ran into a door facing or something. The pain's gone, but the bruise is still there, that kind of thing. We've all been through that. So those are more the typical migraine things. And sometimes the migraines can last for, not only hours or full days, but they can last multiple days, and for some even longer. But your typical headache, you can take some over-the-counter medication and get through those. Now, these are the other things that a lot of us get trapped by. And my neurologist reminded me of this, because I'm back to the daily headaches again, is I get back into that loop of taking over-the-counter medication, or depending on caffeine or things like that, is I cause my own problem. Is taking Excedrin or Excedrin migraine, or different combinations of like Tylenol, or which doesn't do diddly for my headaches. Pause for a moment. So where was I when I got interrupted by advertisement on Pandora? So anyway, so what we have to do is make sure that as migraineurs, we keep good records and make sure that we define which type of migraine or which type of headache and take appropriate action. Obviously, if it's a migraine and the pain is severe, there are different types of medications that we can get from our neurologist. Different things like Nurtec, or some of the new ones that are coming out. But we can't use those very often. If we're using abortives more than once or twice a week, then we get into rebound as well. That's why we've come out with all the different preventive medications, so that we don't have to use abortives. And that's the goal of the neurology today, is to try to keep us from having the headaches and migraines in the first place. But they need our cooperation as well. So make sure you're keeping open dialogue with your neurologist, keeping good records, so that when you do talk to your neurologist, that you have accurate information, and you can have those quality conversations and the records to do so. So this has been Migraine International Patients Perspective. If you have any comments, please provide those, and any feedback. You can find me on YouTube, and I post these videos on several different migraine support groups. My name's Stephan Leifert, and this is Migraine International Patients Perspective. Have a great day.